What's up, guys? We are live. We are live on the internet. Jason J. Daniels Show. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're live on Rumble, YouTube. We're live on X and on the old Facebook. Man, it's a crazy night. Crazy night. Trump he's done it. Trump, Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States, has bombed Iran. It's wild. So I decided to just get on and talk about it. Everybody has their opinion. We all have different points of view. I have Bishop from the Country Fried News Show with me. He jumps on every once in a while. It's been a while, actually. I think we talked about Syria. I think. I mean, last time we talked about world events, UFOs. We have some really interesting conversations. So I wanted to bring Bishop on because he has a lot of information on Iran as far as like studying, and he knows people. He's connected.
I'm connected.
Connected.
I've been studying Iran for years.
Dude, you know CIA people.
Years.
Come on now. Now, do you literally know CIA people, right?
No.
Well, ex-CIA?
Sure.
No, really. And then I know we have military connections. Actually, they said, I'm not sure if this is correct because there's a lot of stuff right here. They said those bombers flew out of Missouri, that the big base where all the missions go. And they said it's a 30-hour flight. It's crazy. They don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
They drop the bombs and come back. So anyway, Bishop, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. The hottest podcast in the rubble spear, the Jason J. Daniel podcast.
Game knows game.
That's right. Actually, do you know why they had to fly to Missouri? Why they have to use, you know what? Because the bunker buster bomb was 30,000 pounds. It's so big.
Did not know that.
Only one plane can fit this thing. It's so big. So that's why they can only use a certain plane to fly out of Missouri. So they probably refueled in the air, obviously, when they got close to the drop zone. As we
the drop zone. We have some people watching, so that is a shocker. people are watching.
Our apologies already.
Yeah, we are sorry. You got suckered into this. Now we're in double digits. So thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. We're joking around. We're having a good time. That's our style. Not everybody's feeling excited tonight, and when I saw it, I was like, "You got to be kidding me, man!" I was like stunned, even though we knew it was coming. It's a big deal. Like it's a real big deal because for 30 years, American presidents have been talking about this. Everyone's been worried about Iran. And so we're kidding around a little bit because that's who we are. We keep it light. But it's really a big fucking deal, man. So Bishop, what was your first thoughts when you found out tonight?
I honestly didn't really know what to think at all, to be honest with you. I was a little bit surprised, but then again, one of Trump's saying is when it comes to negotiations, the person who's willing to go to the extreme will always win the negotiation. So I'm assuming he's letting them know, hey, I'm blowing up your facilities. I'm willing to go to the extreme. So if you want to push me, but you're not going to win, no matter how many drones or how many missiles you fire in the air. I can park an aircraft carrier and annihilate you pretty easily. Okay.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
It's crazy to think about that kind of power. I mean,
let's think about this. They have no artificial intelligence whatsoever. Okay. And plus, I was listening to John Kiriakou, who has a podcast called Deprogrammed, right? Mm-hmm. And he mentioned about how Iran's has tons of intelligence leaks within its inner circle because they're disloyal to each other. They're murderers, right? They're heartless, cold-blooded murderers. And they know that it's like, what is the old saying? There's no honor amongst thieves, right?
That is correct.
When you know that the guy to your right might try and kill you or sabotage you or accuse you of something, right? There's no patriotism and people willing to sell each other out and for for cash, for cash. So
Yeah.
but they have no artificial intelligence. They're behind it. They're behind in technology. They just started getting into drone technology, but they're still well behind. But we just have so much firepower. Power. There's not much even they can really even do. So
It's yeah. There's just no like he flew over, the bombs dropped them, they're flying back, it's a wrap, let's have lunch. Like it's no sweat off our back really. That's how easy it was.
so I'm assuming when you're president, right, you're going to play these war games.
Yeah.
So you ask people who are intelligent, who are experienced. You say, hey, if I drop these bombs, these facilities, what are the potential repercussions of what might happen? So you
Yeah.
take these calculated risks of what can happen to cover yourself in hopefully some sort of way. But you know, I don't know if Iran. I mean, Iran says they'll respond. Will they? I don't know. Are they suicidal? I don't think so. But it's with Iran. It's like this: you kill one guy, and the next guy pops up,
That's the Middle
right?
East. It's been like that for 70 years, you
A
know.
thousand years, dude.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Right?
1,000 years. I mean, modern times. Now, do you equate it to Iraq? Because I don't, but people do, and I understand that feeling. Do you equate it to Iraq? How we jumped in
I
and all of
don't.
a sudden 20 years later, we're running out of Afghanistan and people are falling off of planes and shit, grabbing onto wheels.
There's always a possibility of
That went
complete.
well.
There's always a possibility of complete mayhem,
Yeah.
of societal breakdown, right?
Like, don't you think that's like a 90% chance that the whole thing's going to go crazy?
Well, let's say let's just say that's the case where you bomb the bejesus out of them. They're like, their power gets cut off, the water pipes are busted. You can't take a shower, you can't use the toilet, your ATM won't work, and then you go into complete savagery and survival mode, right? Then you get to looting, murdering, robbing, all that stuff, all that horrible stuff, apocalyptic kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I know that there's a large core group of young people in Iran that are educated, who are pro-Western, right? They have Instagram, they have Google, they find the ways around the regime to go on TikTok and all this stuff. They're aware of what's going on in the world. They travel to the U.S., they come back, they have family who are Westernized. They're not ignorant to the regime, okay? So maybe if this gives them a kind of I don't know, light in the tunnel and they take advantage of it, you could see regime change in Iran. Who knows? But uh, we do know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just go for it. When you said regime change, it always makes me think that never works. Like, so if that's what we're hoping, that's nuts. And if
Well,
there's a regime, it's always worse.
you have to kill everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Then
there's always
what you
a
do
worse
is
guy.
no, you kill everybody. Okay.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
you
I know
do
what you're
is
saying. Yeah,
you fly over a U.S. diplomat and you say you're the new president of Iran. That's what you do. You kill all their head guys and you say we this. Hey, Steve, you're now the new president of Iran. There you go.
we did that with Iraq. That's exactly what you said. We did,
Well, no,
and it
no, but we chose Karzai, who was a heroin dealer, right?
yeah, yeah. But before that, we did have that cat who was like the what do you call those guys from Star Wars that was like doing the trade? The I forget the name of like it's an official name of a person that's like the in between of a country. Like when you take over.
Ambassador?
No, it's something else. It's like a weird, strange word. I know I sound dumb, but like they used it in Star Wars, the episode where George Lucas came back and had Anakin,
You've
and they had
lost
those
me.
guys who were
You've
called.
lost me.
Yeah, I
You've lost
know.
me.
I
I don't know
know.
where we're at now.
Anyway,
Now,
my point is they had an envoy or whatever. It was a guy. And
okay,
remember so the problem was that they with Iraq is they disbanded the army. Remember that? And they sent
yes,
them all home and
yes,
they didn't take any guns and said, "You're fired."
yes.
And then they turned into the essentially the occupation resistance, and they
Yes.
completely started fighting, right? So they became
Yeah.
that.
Sure. Yeah.
So instead of keeping the army, giving them jobs, and
Hmm.
putting in installing that guy sooner, so the as you said Karzai, they
Yeah.
installed him after this fucker ruined everything.
Oh no, sorry. I meant Karzai was Afghanistan. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. But I'm talking Iraq. I forget. I read so many books on it. It's crazy, but
I don't
yeah,
remember who the president of Iraq was, or whatever the hell we did with them.
yeah. I mean,
But
that's not too relevant to the to conversation. But what they did was just like you're saying. It was right after they pulled Saddam's statue down, and everybody's excited. Then the next day, they're like, "Well, where do we go? Where do we go from here?" Nobody knew. So they disbanded the military and fired them, sent them all home, and that was a huge mistake.
so here's the problem Trump has now.
Yeah,
Okay, he has not only unzipped his fly, but he's put the tip in.
but then
Okay,
okay,
so you
yeah,
got to go. You can't pull out from here.
okay.
Meaning,
I see your
meaning, you either have complete surrender by the leaders of Iran, which they allow the U.S. to come in and basically to say do whatever they want and say, you know what, Abdul, Mahad,
It's,
Khalid,
it's,
you four guys, come here. Yeah, you're out of here. This is
it's the
Steve,
mullahs, right?
Jerry. This is Steven. This is Jerry. This is Carla. They now run Iran, and that this places now. Here's an American flag, okay, and here's your American dollars, and this is now American soil.
Dude, that's exactly what George W. Bush did. So you're saying that's where it's heading, though. Like we're trying to take them over. That's what
They
you're
have
thinking.
to because Trump has struck them, they either have to complete surrender, okay? Because we know this. If they just say we're going to negotiate with you, right? And
Mhm.
Trump lays off, in next week some new guy takes over, it's the same story.
Yeah,
And the problem is that in a lot of the dummies about this who get mad about this stuff, who get mad about Iran being mistreated by Israel and the U.S. is that the circumstances are is Iran does not have a nuclear weapon as we speak. Okay,
no, 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 that's over.
but once they do, the world now changes.
Now, do you
Right?
think they're okay? But let's hypothetically say that okay. There's two ways to approach this. You said some good stuff. One is um, they what we did today, this morning, I guess, or early whatever
Sure.
time it is. That was supposed to prevent them from ever having a nuclear weapon for like 30 or 40 years. That's what they should that so if Trump's right, they said it was successful. What you said can't happen for 40 years.
I
So
don't as far as the
okay,
numbers of years, I don't know about. I can't
okay,
confirm any of that kind of
that's
stuff.
one
I don't know.
scenario. Okay, now you're saying
So
the next scenario is they will eventually like okay, Trump's scenario is never going to happen again. You're saying it eventually will. It's only a matter of time.
okay, this is not about nuclear weapons anymore. This is about Iran being a terrorist sponsor and causing problems. And Trump ain't gonna play no game. He can't. Trump's not gonna spend 3 years dealing with IUDs and
Uh,
soldiers' legs getting blown off. He's gotta call grandma. He's gotta call, Carla. Hey, your son blew his legs off. Sorry about that. Here's your flag. Right? Trump's like, I ain't doing that with you. Okay, I'm gonna kill all of you.
I see.
Right? Like he said, complete surrender. I gave you opportunity. I'm not playing. Okay. I'm not Biden. I'm not your buddy. I'm not sleeping at the wheel. This ain't no auto pin. Okay, I'm not the auto pin president, right? So I believe that's what Trump is doing. I don't know. Maybe it will backfire and it will be a complete disaster. Or
Well, hey,
maybe it will be incredible. I don't know. Who knows?
I just got a text from our person, our military expert,
Okay.
who just confirmed, yes, that they flew out of that base in Missouri using that's where that bomb's at.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's crazy. The B-2.
yeah.
So Yeah, so I thought somebody mentioned it on because I was listening to Two Way with Mark Halperin, which is a great show. They did a special episode, a very special episode. They're the bombing episode, and they were talking about that. So your point is, even though we're all going, okay, this is where I feel like, okay, drop the bomb, let's not do anything, goodbye. But you're saying there's no way in hell they're not just going to finish the job, and this is really, we're in it. You feel
We're
like we're in it.
we are in it.
Sorry, I didn't put your graphic up sooner. Guys,
That's
we're
right.
live. This is Bishop Country Fried News Show. It's a tongue twister tonight on X. There's his handle, CFP Country. His show is pretty fucking hilarious. So follow him now and check out his show. He actually does a news format, which is really cool. Covers all sorts of events. Just can't talk. Um, so you're saying we're going to nation build? That's what you're saying.
Oh no, I don't. Trump's not nation building. He
Okay.
is he is solving a problem. He sees. I believe this is what Trump sees about foreign policy that is so messed up about the way we do that stuff. Right? It's like we don't solve problems. We perpetuate them. We don't solve them. We ease off of people. We negotiate. Right? We don't we don't want to make someone mad or whatever. But Trump is trying to solve a problem with Iran, or else in 6 weeks he's gonna get a phone call about a soldier who's been killed by some device that was made in Iran by some bomb maker.
Okay, so
Right?
going back a step, so what you're saying is there's no way in hell the whoever is left over to be a terrorist, hypothetically, whatever sleeper cells, obviously they have their network popping, right? They're a chief sponsor of terror connected to Hamas, even though Hamas is pretty much bankrupt and destroyed and decapitated. But you're saying this is just going to unleash, in your opinion, unleash a terrorist, free for all to get revenge. And Trump is going to have to continue to decapitate this serpent to prevent this from that network from really growing. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, no, I don't think that. I don't think there's. I don't think an Iranian terror cell in America is like a realistic worry. To be honest with you, because if you've been starved of democracy and HBO, Skinamax, and Pepsi Cola, and right, Christy Brinkley and Hulk Hogan, right, you can finally watch the shows everyone's been talking about your whole fucking life. Have you lived in a dirty ass concrete fucking building, right?
Right. I no, I hear you.
You're so caught up on fucking Pornhub, you don't give a fuck about doing a terrorist act, right?
Right, right. So
You got
okay,
class in
so
the morning.
I think right. So I think this is going to basically prevent. Like I don't see them rising up like Revenge of the Sith. But I thought you said earlier because now they're the main sponsor of terror that it's going to get worse. But what you were trying to say is that because of what they've done in the past, Trump is going to finish the job.
Yes,
Okay, got it,
Trump is picking a fight.
got it.
He just kicked you in your fucking nuts. Okay, so what you gonna do? You gonna fly? You gonna fly a drone over the Pacific Ocean? What
Yeah,
you gonna
bring it
do?
on.
You gonna fire missiles at an American base and kill American soldiers? You start killing American soldiers, you see what happens, and your concrete buildings in Iran will be crumbling pretty fast.
So we're back in the Middle East no matter what. No matter what anybody thinks, we're back. That's what you think.
Well, I think Trump has this like pie in the sky thought process of that if he solves a problem, he can put in like a Trump resort and casino inside Iran,
He literally
right?
has said that.
So because he sees this stuff as like real estate and like the Riviera and all this kind of shit, like. But it's true. It's like he's told. I think that maybe he's conveyed to them like, listen, I don't care about your human rights nonsense. If you want to beat your woman up, go right ahead, right? I mean, knock yourself out. Okay.
No, because if we cared, we would have done something 30
be
years ago. We
be
do
as
not.
ignorant, be as ignorant as you want. I don't care. Okay.
Yeah, we don't care
But
what they do to their people. We
put
don't.
down the surface to air missiles.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you want to get some casinos in here and some baccarat, right, and some good looking women, you let me know, and we can make some money. But if you want to take your money and put it into, hydroglycerin and napalm, right, and do this
So,
stuff,
so Trump's going to import women. Like, we'll just get some casinos.
they've
Trump
got.
Taj Mahal was a good thing in Atlantic City. Come on now.
Well, I just think that I think Trump is trying to solve a problem before he leaves. Okay, and number two, I
He
think
just
that
started.
I think the world is tired of this old like evil empire and Middle East is bad and all this kind of stuff. Like I
You,
think people are just kind of fed up with it.
I
I think
disagree.
Trump is too.
I think most of the world loves that shit. I do.
You mean the drama?
Yeah, they love the fact that the Middle East just fucking does crazy shit. How much time have we had in this world? We have the civilized world that I'm gonna be honest. We have to be real here. Back in the Middle East, there are groups of people that do crazy, mean, terrible shit to each other,
Hmm.
and that's like normal. And here, we wake up, and if Starbucks like doesn't have my if Starbucks doesn't get my drink right, I'm pissed off, man. That's the extent of my anger. But most of the Middle East, they're wake up hungry and mad and right. It's like going to the bomb shop, right? And
Well, Iran's a major
there's
city.
a lot of it's violence is like the culture in a lot of these places. But my point is when I'm thinking about like how much of the world is okay with crazy stuff that we don't do, it's like 70% of the world is not like America or Canada, you know? Like
Okay,
I'm
so
starting to watch Narcos for the first time. You like that show's great, right? It's awesome.
mhm.
Like I watched the first four episodes of season one. I think it's one of the perfect TV shows. It's so good. Now it's getting a little boring because they're overdoing like the history and stuff, but it's such a great show. But it made me like realize, oh my god, man! Like we're so comfortable in the United States. We don't have cartels or like everybody getting paid off and the police are corrupt and maybe whoever's paying the most money owns the police. Like that's a reality for most of the world, right? And we have Donald Trump who worships money, but over there, their leader worships like a god that tells them to kill America. Like this is real for them. But we have this new generation. I know I sound like a boomer, but none of them really understand how much of a big deal it is when Iran every time they do their government thing, they do a prayer and they chant death to America. It's like part of their thing. It's like we do the national anthem at the Dodgers game. They do "Death to America" at their stuff. They want us dead. So a lot of folks don't understand that our government apportion millions of dollars, all this brain power goes to thinking about doing this. What Trump did today. We've been thinking about this for 30 years. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't see even if Trump decides I'm going to change it all, right? Do Trump
Mhm.
Taj Mahal. I don't see how that's even a possibility for anybody in this world. I just don't see it.
So can you pull up ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Can you look up Iran's age population? Like, I don't know if you can figure that. Like,
I'll just do
uh,
Grok. Grok's is just good. So do we want to ask Grok?
what is the age population in Iran?
What is the age? You mean like the average age or age population by age?
Population by age, I guess.
Okay, that works.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm using Grok.
there you go.
What is the Iran? It's so crazy now. Iran is like a thing now that we're going to talk about. Okay, so it's searching. Let me share this. Oh, here it is. Let me share it. Screen share. Boom. Share. Now I've got John. Here we go. Got I actually pulled up John Kiriaku's. I wanted to see what he was saying. So here it is. Okay, here's the answer to your question. You see it?
It's a little small.
I'll read it. 0 to 14, 24% is under the age of 14.
20,
Um,
so 24% of the country
is children.
is under the age. That is in America. That is all Hispanics and all Mexicans and African Americans together.
The percentage?
Yes.
Okay.
One is 12, one is like 12, to together is like 24-ish.
I see.
Okay, so 0 to 14%, ages 24% is 0 to 14. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That's cool.
More.
So if you're age 15 to 24 years, 15%. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. You know what that
Right?
means? Kids don't live long there, man. That's
Well,
crazy.
think about, okay, what's the next one here? We got
24 to
25.
54, which is our age bracket, all of
Uh-huh.
us, 48%. So almost half the country is our age bracket,
Right.
25 to 54. Then senior citizens, 8%.
Okay, so Trump, okay, think about this. Trump, the what's the name? The leader of not the Shah. What's the name of
The burrito supreme leader.
the supreme leader of
Whenever
Iran,
I hear supreme leader, I call it burrito supreme. I think of that.
right?
Yeah.
The supreme leader of Iran, okay?
Okay.
He is Trump in with a beard.
Okay. His name
He's a
is Ayatollah Ali
Ayatollah. There you
Khamenei.
go. The
Mhm.
Ayatollah. Thank you.
Ali. Yeah.
The Ayatollah is a hardliner just like Trump. He is Trump in a beard. Okay.
Yeah.
But his country is poor because of sanctions that we put upon them for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So he has a huge population of the country that wants to go to school, wants to get educated, thirsts for knowledge, wants to learn about artificial intelligence, wants to write women everywhere that want to be educated. So this may be a push. So Iran's got to solve a problem. So either change leadership is going to bring in a more progressive person that's not so driven on war, or let deal with Donald Trump.
So you really think that you personally believe that that it can happen, regime, like the people will rise up and want like a real leadership.
Well, I'm hearing that the Ayatollah is stepping down very soon for a new
Actually,
person.
interesting that you say that. I just pulled up Burrito Supreme Leader. This something interesting I saw. Let's jump to that. I'll screen share a different one, which is Supreme Leader. Here it is. Okay, boom. This is interesting. Um, Look at this. It says, New York Times, it says, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei planning for his possible assassination picks a successor. That's interesting. He names a successor today. Wow.
Because, dude, they can't stop the United States.
No. Oh, it wants me to. I thought I had an account. Okay, whatever. Can't read it. I do have an account, but I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Let's go back. Let's see what the other. Yeah, okay. Right. So they're finished, right? It's over. So um if it's over, then like what's the point, right? It's
Of
this.
them fighting back.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm going to stop because there's so many pop-ups it's crashing me.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah, what is this leadership wanting? They're going to lose. What is the
Is
point?
there anything around? Okay, as far as you know,
Uh,
is there any kind of death blow that Iran could do to the U.S. that would be like fucking got him? Any kind of 9/11 style gigantic thing?
sure. I mean,
Is there
if they
no?
happen to get
Do you think they can do that right now?
uh, I mean, probably not because if we were really worried about that in the United States, I don't think we would have done this.
Do they
Right?
have a missile that can hit
No,
Los
not even.
Angeles and take out all the traffic, everybody, all the drug dealers and all the prostitutes?
No,
Can they hit
well,
San
I mean,
Francisco with a
no, not like
intercontinental ballistic missile?
not Mission Impossible style, like Mission Impossible 4. No, but I see where you're going. But okay, I'll go with what you're. I'll see. The answer is no. I don't think so.
Do they? I think they. Okay, they might have a couple of submarines,
Okay,
but they ain't got no nuclear power. So
no, not now
these
for sure.
motherfuckers are running on like GMC engines or some shit, right? So we can
Oh,
hear
you
the submarines going chug a mile away,
like the Yellow Submarine, like the Beatles.
right? They got the Muhammad pedaling and shit down there, fucking riding a bike, little paddles going up and
Yeah.
down, dude. I mean, like,
Okay, so what you're saying is that it's they're not going to win any. Like it's over for them. It's just a matter of time. Is what you're saying.
it's
Like the second World
okay, okay. From the Ayatollah to whoever's behind him, they're all dead men.
Yeah, they're not making it out alive. Right.
Trump can kill all of them.
Now, do you think he's going to kill them because they said no and they said fuck you, and he's like, okay, I'm just going to whack you? Where I'm going with is like Trump doing the whole Trump, I'm negotiating the Trump thing, right? Make a deal. They didn't take the deal. So he
Mhm.
said, give me 2 weeks, but that meant like 2 days,
Oh, okay,
right?
yeah, right,
So my point is, do you
right.
think Trump's like he had two paths? The path, we make a deal, everybody lives. You make me drop the bomb, you're all gone. That's what you're thinking. So it doesn't matter what they say at this point, whatever the subterfuge is, whatever the media says, or whatever happens, they have a plan. They're going to go all the way through until these guys are dead.
Okay. Have you seen the Trump movie
The new one?
with Sebastian? What's his name?
No, I have
Bucky
not
from.
yet. Is it good? I want to see it.
I watch clips of it from time to time on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, and there's a great clip of him like being Trump-esque, whatever. And oh no, he's talking to Rory Cohen, his eventual like friend and attorney, right?
Yeah. Who
Meets
was
Rory
played by
Cohen,
is it Sam? Is it
huh?
Sam Rockwell?
Who?
Plays Rogue Coin. Rogue.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
I don't
no,
know.
it's the guy. It's the cat. Jeremy Strong.
I don't know.
You didn't watch. You haven't watched Succession, right?
I've seen little bits and pieces.
He's
Yeah.
so good. You got to watch that show. He's brilliant. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, he says to Trump in the movie is that like in sports, you play the ball, not the man. But in politics, you play the man, not the ball. Okay. So here's what we know about the Ayatollah. Okay, is that they've killed Americans and they've conspired to kill Americans. All
Okay.
right. And even though when they chant "Death to America," right? Number one, those people, those videos, those are hardliners. Those are people that they're Ayatollah Khomeini maniacs. There's like the little army of people doing that stuff. That's not the majority of the country. They're out trying to watch TikTok and buy Fendi bags and get their
Yeah,
eyelashes
but
done. Right?
they're the guys with the army though.
They're going. The hardliners have the weapons and they have all that stuff. Right. Here's the thing: playing the man. Okay. It doesn't matter what these people do on the exterior. It's all just smoke and mirrors. Here's the truth about what I think Trump knows is that like these guys are stone cold fucking killers.
Yes.
This ain't no real estate deal.
Yes.
This ain't no little cupcake, whatever it is, you go over. No, these are stone cold motherfucking killers. And Trump says, I will kill your ass and I will incinerate your fucking family before I let you touch. I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
got to be a hardliner with these people.
I see. So he's basically going medieval on their ass because that's the only thing you can do.
Because he knows what are you gonna do with the Ayatollah? You gonna be nice to him? You gotta rub his feet,
No.
right? You're gonna
Okay.
buy him a DVD collection or something like that. You're gonna buy him. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna buy him the Beatles collection, kind of smother him up.
Pornhub subscription for Christmas.
What are you gonna do to the Ayatollah? Right? How you negotiate with the Ayatollah Khomeini? Right? So it's like they know one way. The way they know is of the gun.
Yeah, so if you think about it, and Bibi Netanyahu, who's a stone cold killer himself, Let's
Right.
not take anything from that fucker. When he was in the military, people do not realize. I think his kill. I think he killed like 25 people when he was in. Like, there's like a he. There's like he's like a legendary killer. When he was, I think he was Mossad too, right? Like he
I think so. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, no, he's a very decorated war guy, and there was a story where he killed this dude with his bare hands. Like he's
Jesus.
yes, yeah. Like when he was younger, he doesn't care. That's why he's Gaza's like no problem. Like that's lunch for him. That's a Tuesday,
Mm.
killing innocent civilians that are on the other side of. Now they obviously think the threat to Israel is a threat they have to eliminate. So I get that. We're not even. It's funny how we're not even talking about Palestine now. We're
So
talking about.
let's give an example of Palestine. Right.
Well,
Right.
really quick, where I was going to go is
Sure.
that I think you're right. I agree with you. Like now, Trump's in this game, and if you're in this game, you shoot to kill. This is not a game where you're like, I'm going to drop some bombs and move on. This is Jean Claude Van Damme in the Kumite, the very end, like with the eyes, like he's like he's you killed, you kill these guys, like this blood sport. So I get what you're saying. Now, where I was going with this is BB. I got kind of distracted, but BB said, did you see the interview with was it John Carl or whoever, where he said Iran has tried to kill Trump twice. You just don't even know. Did you watch that interview?
No, it is what it is. I don't know. I don't.
Well, where I'm going with is I think you're right. I think that they have this like probably mafioso style like board, like all these fuckers from around the stuff they've done,
Hmm.
and they were probably like one more thing, right? And we're gonna go hard and take these assholes out. And I think you're right. I think this was the opportunity to take these fuckers out. And you're
Well,
right.
okay.
You're going for broke.
Number
They're
one
finishing the job.
about what you just said there. Okay. I know BB's like talking all that shit about Iran trying to assassinate Trump. Okay. I've seen no evidence from anybody that proves that whatsoever. Okay. The question should be is why don't we know anything about these investigations? The Secret Service has still kept us in the dark. We still don't know details of Trump's assassination. The first one that happened, they still have not told us information we need to know.
Correct. But what I'm saying two on top of those. That's what he said. It wasn't
Again,
those counts.
I unless you show me a chart, right? You're just saying this stuff. It doesn't matter to me. It's
Okay,
just
well we
talk.
do okay, but you do believe that there's a that Iran has put a price on Trump's head and certain people in our government, right? Do you believe that or no?
Sure.
Okay. So my point is, I mean, I don't have a reason not to believe it. It makes sense.
It's not
So my point
uncommon.
is there you're saying they're going to decapitate, they're going to take them all out because they're those maniacs, that's the root of the problem. Take those fuckers out, and then anybody else that's in the line of fuckery, and then from there, you're saying that we install a government or we hope a government comes together.
No, I think we take the whole government over. That's the only way. The only
Yeah.
way you need to bring in. Okay. The only way to make this work,
Mhm.
you have to bring in people who are Christians and who are honest and who will sit there and work stuff out and refigure their government or something. And then I don't know. Maybe you just make it into U.S. soil, right?
Wow.
And you put an American embassy there.
Wow.
I mean, that's what I would if I were king. If I was King Trump, right? I would just kill every. I mean, I would make them all disappear. I
I
wouldn't
would
kill them.
kill everyone. Now, okay, I want to set a side note. I'm going to jump to John Kiriaku's Twitter really quick, or his X. This is going to be interesting. Let me see here. I'm going to go back to what you said, though. I love this. We're at 40 minutes. Do you got like 10 more minutes?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me jump to this. Let me do a screen presentation here. This is pretty cool.
He's
Okay.
written books on Iran, so he's like,
Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
you guys have talked about it. Okay, check this out. Look at this. Isn't it cool that he was on Tucker? He's been on your show twice, dude. Is that crazy? And think about that. That's really cool. So to everybody watching this, Country Fried News Show is cutting edge. True.
of course.
John Kiriakou, who has been on Tucker's show here, this cat, CIA Adams, Bishop CIA. I almost gave away your secret identity. Bishop's guest and CIA connection has been on Tucker's show. Let's see what he said tonight. That's actually a really cool setup right there. Wow, who is she? I'm going to check out her stuff. Let's give her a follow, guys, while we're watching. That's cool. Let's see here. Did he say anything today? No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't actually said anything. He's just done some reposts. Okay, interesting. That's interesting.
But
That,
okay, so I was gonna make a point about Palestine.
go for it. Go for it. I just want to show you that. I thought it was really cool. He's been
So
around.
okay, so Trump told the Palestinians, hit the road, Jack. Put egg in your shoe and beat it. Right? The whole world came apart. Trump knows if you do the same thing over and over again, it's not going to work. Okay. Who does Trump idolize? Andrew Jackson. And what did Andrew Jackson do? The Trail of Tears. Hey,
Did
Native
he?
Americans, pick up your shit and get to walking.
That was Andrew Jackson.
Yes.
Okay, I
Okay.
don't remember.
Because
That.
they're sitting on like $8 billion in gold on the ground that we wanted, we needed to get.
You mean oil?
No, gold.
You're talking about Andrew Jackson, or you're talking about Trump now?
Trump, he studies Andrew Jackson.
Okay, but where's the gold in Palestine?
No, 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 no.
I got
The,
confused.
the Native Americans.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Okay.
got
We kicked their ass out of the West. We made them go on the Trail of Tears because we wanted the gold in the ground.
gotcha. So
There's billions of dollars of gold in the ground that they couldn't get that we wanted to access.
got it. So you're saying that Trump is like this. It's a mission. Take no prisoners. He's like completely going to change Iran forever.
With the Palestinians. Okay, he knows the only solution is one's got to go. Either this whole two-state negotiate, be nice. No, it ain't gonna
Don't
work. Either
don't
the
you think
Jews
that?
go or the Palestinians go.
Yeah,
Hey,
and that
Palestinians, get to walking.
isn't that kind of solved already since Israel's like just pounded them into submission pretty much.
Get to walking. And we'll rebuild some real estate over here, okay? We'll run your credit. And if you're at 700 or better, we'll let you get rid of an apartment at Trump Tower. Okay?
$62 application fee though.
Trump Gaza Tower. No,
Yeah,
but
totally. Now,
as
okay,
cruel as the Trail of Tears was, it was necessary for the advancement of the future. Get it? For that $8 billion of gold. You can't let a bunch of people who are rejecting society, rejecting technology, rejecting peace. You can't have them being permanent victims for their entire existence.
yeah, but that goes back to what I was saying earlier. I think the entire world digs that. Like I think the United States, Canada, UK, countries that are like the G7 or whatever you call them, I think we are the outliers, and the rest of the world loves to live in the Stone Ages. Because don't you think, let's think about this. Don't you think, and we know it didn't work for Iraq. We know it did not work. In Afghanistan, it just didn't work. So don't you look what happened to Afghanistan? They went back to the Taliban. So don't you think, okay, we had our revolution 250 years ago going strong, and our birthday's coming up. Happy birthday to you and me.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a revolution. Don't you think that if it was going to happen for these countries by now, they would have had a revolution on their own? And isn't that the only way it can happen is for them to have their own revolutions? Because when you go back to George W. Bush in Iraq, we know that is a loser. It doesn't work. Unless you're saying that it's Trump and it's different and he knows what to do and Bush was a dummy and they just fucked it up, but it can happen if the right people do it. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I don't have every perfect answer for this scenario that could happen. Anything can happen. They could surrender. There could be overnight the Ayatollah gets murdered and a new guy takes over and he's
Yeah.
right? He's a Christian or something like that. Like, I mean, anything can happen. There could be a
Joel Osteen. Well, I
right.
mean, I think no, I think you're right. Okay, now
The
would
only way to guarantee success is for them to completely surrender, and we come in and we arrest everybody and their
he
cabinet, and their government, whatever we want to do with them. We kick
like
them all out.
World War II style, like
We
literally
kick,
go in, do trial, right? And okay, so okay, I see your point, George. Now I have something to say on Israel, so make sure I don't forget. Um, World War II was, hey, we went into Germany, we punished those fuckers, we put them all on trial, we made them feel terrible. Japan, all that. We we basically, we did what you do when you conquer. We conquered. We didn't nation build. We conquered the nation and said restart. Right? Okay. Um, so what you're saying is when you go to Bush in Iraq, Bush went in, he was like, hey, everybody, petting people and trying to be nice, have a Starbucks, and he tried to be nice. But you're saying we should go in, surrender, conquer, put them in jail, have trial, be not nice, and conquer them, is what you're saying. And that's what Trump's going to do.
I don't know what Trump's going to do,
I
but
mean, but you're saying that that's probably the plan that could work versus George W.'s plan, where everybody's nice to they keep the government.
if the Ayatollah quits tomorrow, a new hardliner takes his place.
Right.
And there
And
you
that's
are
what happened in
again,
Iraq.
and now
Yeah.
you got a brand new supervillain to deal with.
Okay. Interesting. We're almost done. Thanks for this
So,
time tonight. It's a lot of fun. Because I
so
just want
you
to
either
talk
have
about
to
it.
you either have to kill everybody,
Mm-hmm.
everybody in the cabinet, arrest them, or say you're out of a job, right? And you bring in American flags, you bring in liberty, and you bring in the Constitution,
And take oil or
and
whatever
you
they have, like actually take shit.
make it into American soil, and you allow Americans to travel there.
Yeah, see, that's what we thought Bush should have done with Iraq. Because we put 800 billion or some shit into that. We put
Remember,
more
Bush was
money
Bush was an incompetent moron.
totally. We put more money into that country than we put into our own country, and look what happened. But we were nice. We gave. We did. We yeah. I get your. I feel what you're saying. We didn't conquer them. We knocked out their government and then gave it back to them and said, "Hey, we're here to help." And it was just a joke. We shouldn't have even done it. Well, we now know we shouldn't have done it. But okay. So here's my last point. Tell me what you think. I'm thinking that Trump made a deal with Bibi and said, "We're gonna break this thing open, but if it goes crazy, your troops are going in." And Bibi was probably like, "No problem." What do you think?
I
That's
don't
probably
think that's a secret. I think that's for allies.
okay. No, I'm just
That's
saying,
a
like, we'll
that's an
never
or,
do troops on the ground, so Bibi does it.
to me that's an organic process that would just naturally happen. I don't think
Okay.
that's a secret.
Do you think that Trump, when he went to the Middle East, what was it, like 4 weeks ago or something, 3 weeks? Do you think he made deals with all of the sheikhs and those fuckers and said,
There you go.
guess what you get?
There
A
you go.
wall.
Now you're thinking here, right?
That's what I think he did. Yeah. So
Right? So,
because that occurred to me, I thought two things occurred to me. One, Bibi made the deal because Bibi was really pushing on Trump. Do it, do it, do it. Trump's like,
mhm.
we're not doing it. So Trump probably said, how about this? I drop the bombs, get the credit, but you guys spill the blood and you go in and do the mean shit. We look good. And then we have all the sheiks and they come in, they drive in their, Mercedes and their all that, their Beamers, and they go over and they start building a Dubai over there.
Mhm.
And you've got really hot young people like doing, people. I saw a thing. There's underground clubs and discos. Like there is a group of people that risk their lives to party. And there was on two way tonight or two way today. It was they had a guy on there who was, or maybe it was a different show, but he was no, it was a different show. It was actually it was a different show. The Free Press, I think, is the name of the podcast. And it was a guy who's over there now, or I'm sorry, he was over there a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks. I'm just making this up, but it sounds like him. But anyway, he was there, and he went. He said in Iran he had an escort, and all of his reporting it was like very micromanaged, and they read his notes and stuff. Then at night he snuck out and hung out with these people, and they took him to a disco, and it was like they were going crazy. And then they shut it down. It was a secret disco, and everybody like had to sneak out. So
Mm.
he's saying there is a group of people who would love to be free. Who wouldn't? Oh, and by the way, Elon has already turned on Starlink. So, like, even though the government turned the internet off, they're
Mhm.
still using their phones if you're in the underground.
See, the regime is old. It's old and it's tired. Okay, so it's time probably. Maybe Trump had some intelligence that said that there's blood in the water.
I think so. I think
That if
Trump
you
will be
put
doing
pressure
some
on
dope.
them now, that they'll break. Maybe that's what the intelligence that Trump has.
Yeah, I don't think Trump does anything unless he thinks he can win.
But you made a good point. I actually did a segment on this that Trump goes to Saudi Arabia and talks to these guys. He's like, listen, we want to do business. We want to make some money, but I've got these weirdos living in concrete buildings over here, launching missiles and causing problems, right?
Get
I
with the
got these I
program.
got
These
these low income housing people over here called Iran. Like, hey,
the dogs go
I
crazy.
I need exterminator,
Yeah.
right? Hey, you know what? I don't got a problem with the Jews. Jews got money. Israel's nice.
Don't tell Kanye.
He's like, hey, I might want to buy some real estate there.
Well, okay. Well, we're wrapping up. That was great. Okay, that makes sense. That's what I'm thinking. Now, do you last thing we'll say on this. And we want to say this is just we're just shooting the shit. Thanks for watching, everybody. We got people watching live right now. Thank you, everybody on the old X machine, and we want to remind you that we have Bishop Country Fried News Show on X, CFP Country. If you're watching on X right now, I will. I'm gonna after the show, I'm gonna repost it and tag him. If you're on YouTube, or if you are watching on YouTube, Country Fried News Show on YouTube, pretty easy to find. And also, just to remind you, you are watching the Jason J. Daniels Show. You can follow me at Real Jason J. Daniel on TikTok. I do WNBA and I do sports. But my main show, which you're watching, the podcast, the Jason J. Daniel Show. So, last thing, Bishop, I'll ask you about this is, what if it works? So here's the scenario I'm thinking: we bomb Iran, as John McCain wanted. Shout out to John McCain; he got what he wanted. We bomb Iran like we did; we're in it, and then the government falls apart. Maybe we do a little assassination creed on them and shit. We take out all these religious lunatics, and then maybe Israel goes in and cleans up, boots on the ground. Okay, plants Israel American flag. Boom, take over. Okay, no Americans are killed in the process. No animals are harmed. Nobody gets secondhand smoke. Everybody's cool on the American side. It's easy, relatively easy peasy, which, I mean, you drop those bombs, it should be set up. Maybe there's a little bit of an uprising, but not too bad. Okay. There isn't chaos in the streets because everybody's a little more sophisticated. Iran has sophisticated people. There's a lot of people that fleed Iran who will be coming back, all these things. Okay. And then let's say the sheikhs come in and the Saudi comes in and they're like, hey, we're going to invest, and it starts popping. Is
Mhm.
that success?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Is that what they're looking for? What do you think failure would
Sure.
be? Okay, so okay, I gave you success. Now you go, you tell me the worst case. What would be failure for Trump, in your opinion?
It goes into complete chaos just like Iraq did. He's sending Trump's got to send in ground troops. The ground troops get into hand to hand, house combat. Though, got to go door to door, urban combat. It would be that would be an epic disaster.
Yeah, if it goes Call of Duty.
For those Call of Duty, would be an epic disaster.
What do you? I mean, obviously, we're very good experts at this. We know exactly what we're talking about. We're going to
Of
establish
course,
that.
of
We
course.
know everything. What do you think? What do you think the odds are that it goes my way versus your way or vice versa?
Well, I thought Syria was going to go into complete chaos, but it turns out the guy took over is peaceful, and he's now our friend. And he went from having a $10 million bounty on his head to no bounty on his head. And he's wearing Italian suits, and Syria has very limited violence. And the only violence that's happening is Israel bombing on the outskirts of Syria. So Syria is relatively peaceful from what I'm
That's a good point.
understanding.
That's a really good point.
Remember,
Um,
this isn't 1982.
That's true. I so you're saying that as in it's not even what when it's not even 2003, right? 2000 and when was Bush went into Iraq 2004 or something? So it is 20. Okay, so the nation building in Iraq was a huge failure. It has been 20 years later. That's a long time. That's a generation. So you're saying that with the internet, with the way people have changed, the way that young people are even more sophisticated, they want to live and not die. You know, they're not brought up in the culture of death like the other generations were. You're saying that there's probably more of a chance that this could work out.
These people are dinosaurs.
Now, the I'm sorry, the Arab Spring did not work out well. Everybody thought when Obama and all them, Hillary and Obama made that happen because behind the scenes they made that happen. That didn't work out like they thought it did. Everybody just got more. It was more lunatics in line. There's always another lunatic in line, it seems like to me. But you're
Right.
saying that at this point, Trump will just kill all the lunatics in line, and so that's the way to solve that problem.
You either hang them, or you arrest them, or you release them of their duties and say you're going to be released of your duty. You're going to be given a pardon. But if you turn against us and try to plan some sort of attack on our troops, we're going to cut your head off. And then I'm
Yeah,
going to arrest I'm going to arrest your cousin and your brother, and then I'm going to arrest your daughter.
so go like John Gotti on him.
You have to
Rather
go,
than be
John.
like a pussy,
You have to go, John Gotti on these people.
because
You
Bush was like a
cannot
total pussy. Let's be honest.
you cannot go easy.
And
Okay,
go ahead.
you don't pet a wolf. You point a
So,
gun at it.
do you think if Bush had gone John Gotti, it would have gone differently? I do. I do.
Well, he wasn't incompetent enough to even tie his shoes.
Yeah, he was so yeah, okay. So last thing I'll say, it's a book I read, I own. It's called Obama's Wars. I
Mm-hmm.
know what you're thinking. I'm not trying to blame this on Obama. I'm just saying this is written by Woodward. I know not you, Bishop, but everybody watching. This is written by Woodward, and this talks about when Obama inherited, what went down with Bush, what he had to mess with. There's a little bit in here on Iran. I'm going to read this. Now, this is written in 2010. Okay. Um, Obama turned to the Iranian nuclear program. This is just, they were talking about, they were doing war strategy.
Mm-hmm.
It was well known that Iran was trying to get nuclear weapons. Despite the suspension of some, the suspicion of some of the, I'm sorry, suspension of some of the Iranian nuclear programs, others continued or could be restarted. And there were hidden facilities. This is 2010. This was Obama. It had nothing to do with Trump. McConnell, one of the generals, said he was convinced that Iran was going to get a gun type nuclear weapon, probably primitive, but one that could be detonated in the desert with less dramatic effect. This would be done, in his view, between 2010 and 2015. It would create an incredibly unstable situation in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia would call in their chips with Pakistan, who gets Saudi oil, and try to help develop, and then try to have Saudi develop a nuclear weapon. Egypt and other countries in the region could also go all out and go nuclear. So I think people are missing the point when they're trying to say this is just a one-off thing. The whole problem with Iran having a nuclear weapon is everybody needs one because they're afraid of them. But if they're gone, everybody's cool and they can just like do MMA fights in Dubai and all that other cool stuff. What do you think about that?
You you want to live in a world where they don't have a nuclear weapon,
And I
as
think
opposed to
that's
a world where they do have a nuclear weapon.
exactly.
And once they do have a nuclear weapon, then they can make demands on countries and on people and make all sorts of threats.
So that was 15 like yeah, 15 years ago that book was written. And they were concerned then that as soon as Iran got a nuclear weapon, it was popping and they were going to pull the trigger on it. And I think what people are forgetting is they want one so they can use it, not just chill with it. They want to pull a trigger on it because they believe death is sweeter than honey. In fact, I saw a clip that there was an old lady in the streets shouting she was mad at Trump, and this is not today; it was yesterday or the day before. And they interpreted what she was saying, and she was saying, "We love death. Death is as sweet as honey." That's
Yeah, but remember, these are hardliner people. These are
that's
like
my point. Yeah, but yeah,
these
but
are
those kind
these
of
those
people,
are she's MAGA.
she's MAGA, Iranian MAGA.
That's Iranian MAGA,
Yeah, but the fact is, all those
right?
cats have the bomb. We're close to getting the bomb. Not now.
Right. But see, but the difference is Christians aren't suicidal.
No, no. That's well. I mean, yeah. So yeah, yes. So you're saying because of the hardline old school religion they've brought up into the visions and the
That's
whole.
why if that's why the MAGA thing is lethal as the dark MAGA stuff of those are that's people like that are hardline extremists, right? But they're the minority in Iran.
Yeah,
They're
but
the
they have the
minority,
power.
and they're poor.
Yeah, but those
They got no
people that
money.
believe that have the power.
They got no money. They got nothing. They got some broke ass drones.
Yeah, that's the truth. Hey, how about that story? Did you read the story that Israel had? They had people that created a drone factory in Iran, and they had no idea. Do you see that?
Uh, oh, Israel did.
Yeah, yeah. So
No, but it's not. Doesn't surprise me. It's
yeah, so what happened was Mossad came in and they had a factory, and everybody thought it was Iranians, and it was Mossad. And
well,
they created drones in there. And when it was on, the drones flew. They were inside, and they had hundreds of drones that came out and started attacking out inside Iran. That's how. And Trump, the story goes that Trump was like blown away at how brilliant it was, how good Israel is doing that kind of secret thing, which that's their thing. So everybody
right.
has their thing, right? And but when we partner together with them, we kick some ass. Anyway, so I'm gonna let you go. It's been an hour. This has been cool. This has been fun. Thank you. Thanks for
All
coming on.
right. All right. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, it was great. And I watch the Country Fried News Show all the time, guys. It's one of my favorite places to go. It's great stuff. Good comedy, good information, and it's a lot of fun. So please follow Bishop Country Fried News Show on X. You can also check him out on the old YouTube machine. Thank you so much, Bishop. Take care. I'm going to wrap. And guys, it's been fun. Go with God, via con Dios, and let's hope tomorrow's not going to be crazy. Crazy day. John Jones retired too from MMA. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he the goat. He retired tonight. Wild. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one, and
Peace.
take care, Bishop. Bye.